Welcome to Project Die Hard Mission Monday Update. We are here every Monday night at 6:30 p.m. Central to find out all the latest and greatest of what's going on in the world of Project Die Hard. This has been a big week. A lot of good things going on. One that is a sadder piece, but we'll get to that in just a moment. But I will mention normally at this time, we have Brian coming in. I get the pleasure of introducing him. Brian Gibson is the president and founder of Project Die Hard, and typically he joins us and does the update himself. But he's not here tonight, so I get to try to fill his shoes and give all the notes here. And he might be out there somewhere. If you're listening, Brian, and I missed anything, go ahead and type that in so I can be sure to share it on out. So we have, oh my gosh, the last, I'd say, week and a half has been massively busy. A week ago on Friday, Saturday, we had Operation Wisdom going on, and we touched on that last week, but still worth mentioning that was a huge event with people coming in and sharing their thoughts and ideas with Project Die Hard. Super grateful to all who came, and that's going to be some stepping stones for moving forward. Last Wednesday was the first Wednesday of the month, and if you know anything about our crew here, that means it is time to go and have Veterans Breakfast at IHOP in Paducah, Kentucky. So that took place on this last Wednesday, and let's see here. That's a pretty good report. We had 37 veterans that came to join for that breakfast event, 7 of which were first-timers. So I am so happy to hear such a good number and that there are so many first-timers coming and joining in. All are welcome at the breakfast. It goes from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. I believe I got the time correct, doing that off the top of my head. But it's at the IHOP in Paducah, Kentucky. All are welcome. You do not need to be a veteran to join us, but veterans get the pleasure of having their meal paid for through the outreach program here that we have with Project Die Hard. So I have some year-to-date totals. Brian shared this on Facebook last week. Year-to-date. So it's June, so we're halfway through the year. Our year-to-date totals here with attendance, we've had 149 veterans coming and sharing breakfast on the first Wednesday of the month with the crew. The total cost so far for that has been $1,072.26. Donations in person at the events has been $296. So with 149 this year and having 37 just this last time around, I'm impressed. The numbers are going in the right direction. We're getting a good attendance and looking forward to seeing how many can make it for July. So be sure to mark your calendars if you are anywhere near Paducah, Kentucky, or if you can get there, which, I'm kind of giving you a little tease of something that's coming up later in the show here. If you have any way to get to Paducah for the Veterans Breakfast on the first Wednesday of the month, all are welcome. Please join. Then our next thing in line here is last Saturday. We had a telethon. Did you catch any of it? Did you show up at Fob Rush? We had a telethon going on. It was part of the Veterans First initiative with a partnership here with several different groups. We had FANA, which is People for a New America, that headed this all up. And the Veterans First Initiative is a committee basically with that organization. And this was, the first big event with the Veterans Group. And last fall, they actually had a massive concert that they held, just getting the word out, had some world-class bands participating in that. And some of the interviews that took place during the telethon were also some pretty big-name people in the music industry for the last 2 hours of the programming. Because the telethon, I'll just give you a brief little snippet. We can talk more about it later on because I want to get to some of our guests that are here. But just in brief, we had Jay Stoyan with the Disability Channel taking the first 2 hours at the Toronto location. So the telethon started with Jay and then switched over to us. You got to see this mug on the screen there. And we had final count, I believe, was 32 mini segments throughout the 2 hour period. We had 40 plus people coming and going throughout that same time frame. So it was hopping. It was fun. And then we handed the reins over to Phoenix, Arizona, and they had some speakers. They had music. Oh my gosh, such good music going on. And then switched to LA, where they had Richie Honori and Jesse Moore that were doing some interviews with some pretty big name musicians from their location there in Los Angeles. So there's still information available online. You can still watch what all happened. If you go to vetsinneed.org, vetsinneed.org. If you go there, you can see they still have the live stream replaying. So they had some I don't want to call them commercials. They had some promo pieces and they had some interviews, and then we actually had the telethon, and all of those things are still available there now on their live player. It is continuing to play. It's looping through so that people can still enjoy the content and still be able to donate. So donations are ongoing. Donations are being accepted. So if you missed it and want to go check that all out, please do so. We have a lot of this content on our Facebook and YouTube pages as well. I'm working on getting our section cut down because we kept live streaming. So our live stream, our video is actually like 5 hours long right now. I need to cut it back to be just what we did and send that off to the crew in Arizona, and they will have that posted for ongoing as far as I know, so we can point people to it and promote what we all do here with Project Die Hard and all those amazing people that we get to work with. So that brings me to my last piece of update. I think, actually, let me see if I have this in front. Oh, I have it right in front of me right here. So this is the piece that is our sad one for today. Sergeant Richard Biddle. He was, I'm going to just read on here, father, pastor, friend, a blessing to the veteran community of Southern Illinois. He is the guy that is responsible for having facilitated and made the donation possible with where FOB Rush is, Forward Operating Base Rush. The fact that Project Die Hard is in ownership of that donation of the property, there's 20 acres and a 10,000 square foot building. If it wasn't for what Richard Biddle did to make that happen, it would not have ever happened. So he is instrumental in what is happening in Makanda, Illinois. And I know Brian had mentioned recently that he was on hospice, and unfortunately for us, but he's in a better place. He did pass away, and that is part of why Brian is not here tonight. There's a lot going on. So he is somebody that we will be sure to remember and honor. And it's also worth knowing that he is going to be the namesake for the Veteran Resource Center. So it is named Sergeant Richard Biddle, USAF Veteran Resource Center at FOB Rush. So that piece is going to consist of a classroom, a hands-on working area, and an office. So if you go to Facebook, you'll see a diagram that kind of shows what that's going to look like. And that is a piece that will be coming, and that is the gentleman that is being named after. So absolutely perfect honor to have named after him, with the significant role that he has played in what we have for that location. So God bless, and wishing all family and friends peace and blessing in this time. So thank you so much. With that is our update. I'm also going to go ahead and point out, see that fill the can little symbol up in the corner there? I'm going to have that ongoing on here. I've learned a few tricks on Restream since we did this event over the weekend. So we will be sure to include things like this, that you can go ahead and scan that code. If you aren't familiar with it, all you have to do is get that camera on your phone up, get it to focus in. Don't take a picture of it, but just get it to focus on that code, and it will take you to a website. Once you get it focused in, it'll show you a little piece. You know what? Let me see if I can do it with my phone so that those that are not familiar with this have an easy time. Oh, my phone's not going to cooperate tonight. So it on mine. See, now this is cool. It shows that somebody scanned the QR code. So I actually get pop-ups when that happens, and that's pretty awesome. So when you get that your camera on your phone to focus in on that code, on my phone, it ends up being a little yellow box underneath that saying open in Chrome, like it's asking me if I want to do that. So I just have to touch that where it says open in Chrome, and then it takes me to the website wherever it is that we have designated that code to go. And for us, that code is going to, for tonight, I had my code handy, or my website. So this is actually going to mine. I need to get from Brian what the official one is that I should be putting on there. But if anybody donates tonight, that it was through this. So with that, with no further ado, we've got some amazing friends joining us tonight. First and foremost, I'm going to bring in a longtime friend of the show, friend of, oh my gosh, I'm not even sure how long we've known each other, Debbie. Come on in and say hello to everybody. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
So glad to have you here.
Thank you. I would say we've known each other maybe 3 years.
Somewhere in that neighborhood.
Kurt, your husband, a little bit longer for me, probably 4 years.
Yeah, Happy Neighborhood Project brought a lot of us together through doing this, being online and chit-chatting with people, getting a chance to network and find out more about each other. And we've just had a lot of good connecting points. And that's what it's all about. That's what Project Die Hard is all about. People finding out about what this is and figuring out, how can I do something here? Because there's a place for everybody. So do you want to share a little bit more about your connection, or would you like first to bring in your guest?
Well, he's not just my guest, our guest, but I'll just tell what I do. I do .com. So if you come, then that will take you to the company site. And I do promote immune support for both pets and humans with the use of the Coriolis versicolor mushroom, a medicinal mushroom, in a lot of those products. It allows the body to heal itself. It is not a cure for anything, but it either gets your immune system to its optimum or works on getting it if you have an illness, and that can be the most catastrophic all the way down to something very minor. No promises, of course. Everybody's body is different, but we do get a lot of good testimonials.
Beautiful. And I'm sorry I misspoke. Yes, Anthony's been here before, and we love Anthony. He's awesome. And we only would know him because you are so wonderful to bring him to us here. So if it's all right, I think we're going to go ahead and actually, why don't you go ahead and introduce him as I bring him in on camera?
Okay. Anthony and I have gone to sister churches at one point. So through that, we became Facebook friends, and I reached out because I have a pet podcast also, and I wanted to invite him. He is a disabled vet, and he has a dog. He can tell us a story about the service animal story. But that's what got my attention, and that's why I got in touch with him about getting on the podcast. We got to be friends, and I just said, hey, I'm supporting this veterans group. I want to bring a breakfast to Tucson. Would you like to help? And he immediately was like, I'm in.
I love it.
He and I are actually going to be out there visiting just before Labor Day.
Awesome. Tell me more.
So we're
going to fly out.
Yep. We're coming in on the 31st, so that we'll be there for the breakfast on the 1st, and then coming back on the 3rd. So we'll have the afternoon of the 1st and the 2nd to actually visit FOB Rush and visit with Brian. And maybe if anybody's listening that lives in that area that wants to get to know us better and have us get to know you better, please let us know. We can arrange that happening.
Excellent. That's exciting news. It sounds like a party to me. That everyone's to get together and have some fun. Excellent. Yeah. So, Anthony, why don't you share a little bit about what do you all do as well?
Well, excuse me, like Deb said, I am a disabled veteran, so I don't work in the traditional sense. I do a lot of work with nonprofits, my church, my kids' school, things of that nature. Um, but I am in the process of getting, it's a slow process, and I'm intentionally going slow, but it's slow enough as it is, of getting my own LLC, or excuse me, my own incorporation of a 501c3. And I'm going to open an equine assisted therapy ranch whose main focus is going to be veterans. We're not going to be exclusively veterans, but that's going to be our primary focus with this equine assisted therapy ranch. And we're going to provide any needed therapies. The whole goal that I have in mind, and kind of the mantra, is going to be that we want to bridge that gap between addiction and sobriety. A lot of sober living facilities require you to have been off of whatever substance you're addicted to for a certain amount of time before they take you in. And our whole point is, well, where's the in between? Who's the gap in between? More than just halfway houses, somebody that's actually working hands on, providing therapy, providing needed support for these veterans to get them to the point where they can live in sober living facilities and graduate on from there to become productive individuals of their society. So that's kind of the goal I have in mind. And of course, the whole thing will be therapeutic based as well as faith based, and we'll be working from that angle there. So that's kind of what I do. And then working with Deb and trying to get, some different types of veterans programs. And we're hoping sooner rather than later to be able to partner with Project Die Hard and get something up and running here in Tucson and get some boots on the ground and start reaching some veterans out here.
I love it. That's what it takes. We need people like you and Debbie to team up and make a difference. It's not hard to make a difference. It's just takes making a decision and moving forward.
Yes,
absolutely.
And we do have another person on our team, Rosanna Gonzalez. She's teaching Bible study tonight, and she had to prepare for that, so she wasn't able to come on, but she is she's all on board also. Awesome. And then we also have Scott Tilley. We've talked to him a couple of times, and he has a therapeutic ranch. He does a lot of work with autistic children, but he said he has worked with veterans before. So we're hoping to incorporate that. So our plan for Tucson is to start out with the free breakfast. And then as we get people who are coming to the breakfast, if they would like to participate in that equine therapy, that we can hook them up with Scott. And then eventually somebody will come along that'll want to do the hard work, which would be finding an actual physical location, just like FOB Rush.
Excellent. Oh, well, and from what I understand, there's quite a few veterans that live in the area there. So I'm optimistic we'll be able to get a group going that can make that difference and pull it together. Just a matter of people.
We have a fairly large Air Force base here. It's one of the larger ones in the country. So we do have quite a veterans presence. And then about 2 hours from here is an Army base. So yeah, we've got quite a veterans presence here.
Amazing. That's perfect. Sounds like just the right recipe. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it sounds like something that, not to be competitive, but I would like to have more people than what they have in Paducah.
Ooh, I like this. This is now you're speaking my language. Add a little bit of pep into the how quickly can we grow these groups? How quickly can we hit 50 at a time coming to breakfast?
Right. Yeah.
We can double that even, because I think, if I remember correctly, the IHOP holds up to 500 people in Paducah. So when is it going to be that we will be shutting the place down because it's all veterans during that time.
Right? Yep.
It's a goal. I like that goal. There's definitely 500, more than 500 in the area. Paducah's not that small. It's actually pretty good size, and anyone can drive in. It's perfect.
There you go.
So, well, and we do have another gentleman joining us in the back. I'd love to have him join our conversation. So we've got a wonderful gentleman that is here. He's affectionately known as the Orange Cowboy. We've got Swami Tirtha joining us. How are you?
Howdy, howdy, howdy. Good to see you.
Hello.
Good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
I love that horse, the horse equine therapy. I've seen videos about guys who still feel like they're in the war, and they put him together with a Mustang that doesn't trust humans, and they didn't trust each other, and he learned how to trust each other. The horse was tamed in a gentle way, and they're allowed to take the horse home if they want. Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah. I don't know that we'll be giving horses away. That's
Yeah,
expensive.
I didn't need to.
Yeah, just the whole process of working with them, everything from, if you have a farrier that they can work with to caring for the stables and the stalls, the tack rooms, riding them, saddling them, the whole 9 yards is very therapeutic.
Caring
and
for them.
it gives you something to do. And there's all kinds of science behind animals being therapeutic anyway. And so you kind of merging the best of both worlds.
Yeah, they're amazing horses. Horses are amazing that way.
Yeah, they are. And this particular facility, I at first thought it was only horses, but he does have other animals as well. They started, I believe, with just horses, but branched out. They have things like tortoises and chickens and just all sorts of animals. So
don't ride the chickens, though. That's not a good.
Yeah. Can't settle up as well, can you?
But when you get your 401c, Anthony, let me know, because right now I'm donating to a Mustang ranch out in Texas. I don't know if they do vet therapy, but the two, what you're doing is horses, and which is a love of mine. And
he would already have his 501c3 because he's been in operation.
Oh, are you talking to me? He's not
sir.
talking about Scott. He's talking about me.
Yeah.
I'm talking. I'm sorry. Oh, you're talking about that. I was talking about Scott Kelly in Tucson. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, just so I'm clear that I thought Anthony said he's got a 501c3 to put horses and vets together.
I'm working on getting a 501c3. I'm in the process of actually getting that part of it taken care of. You got to deal with the IRS. You got to deal with the VA, the whole 9 yards. So you got to get an EIN, everything. So I'm in the process.
Well, Sue, you'll pass it on to Sue, and she'll give it in the news and all that.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. It's going to be a while before we actually get physically up and running because I have to wait for my kids to get settled before I can leave Tucson. Tucson's just not a very good climate to have horses year round.
Yeah, I hear that. I'm in Florida right now.
Yeah. So.
Right.
So actually, Swami, you want to just take a moment and introduce yourself and what it is that you all do?
Sure. I'm here because the great hearts of Sue and Kurt, and encouraging me to share something that's a mission of mine, a calling of mine, and that is to heal people by letting their own bodies heal themselves. And no drugs, no chemicals, no herbs. And what it is this patch. I'm taking mine off because it's time to take it off. And it's think of it as a mirror. It reflects our body's infrared light back into the body. It powers up our ATP, our mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of everything. And the ATP, the mitochondria, wakes up or elevates our copper peptide, which has been studied since 1970 something. Age reverses the biological aging process of the body. And we have, and I played, I don't know if you got to play it Saturday because I was in another event that for the company. We have veterans back up from the Korean War giving testimonies how this has helped their pain, their memory, their PTSD. We have Navy SEALs. The first product this company made was for the Navy SEALs, an energy patch, all natural, to keep them awake while naturally when they're on their night maneuvers. So there's two cool things about this. One is what I said, it and a couple, like you said before, no promises here, but we find lots of people, lots of veterans with all sorts of symptoms getting better from the patch. And then the other thing that we need in life is when we're better is to go and do something with our lives, make a difference. Because like I'm on a mission now, and that's to help people with this. And to have a mission is the best reason for me to live. And if I could help veterans who feel like they're on a mission and they want to join this company, there's virtually no payment. You don't have to buy things to start a business. I hold the hand of the people who join me and help them set up their business. It's a home-based business, so there's no barriers to entry. If you can't get around, if you're in the house, if you have internet access or a telephone, you just need a telephone. So these are the two things that I'm passionate about. And if there's any vets who have that same kind of passion, then I will help you help everybody So that's
excellent. Yeah, and I think several months ago we had Dr. George Grant on here with us, and he was actually part of the science team that created this whole system.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
So pretty amazing. And oh my gosh, we've got more friends joining us here. I love this. Oh my gosh, it's turning into a party. I think we got to give just a moment here. When people get cameras turned on, I will bring them on in. Oh, and I know more than said that, and it's ready to go here. So we got more friends joining us.
I'm going to take a mic too, because this is a good transition time, I think. And thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here, Debbie.
And I'll be on to the next one.
Excellent. All right. Well,
all right. Thank you much.
We'll keep bringing people in, and Debbie, we'll look forward to hearing more as you guys get closer to your trip over to Paducah, Kentucky and Makanda. So, and with that, oh my gosh.
I'm going to have to also jump out in about 2-3 minutes.
All good. Well, let me bring everybody in. We all say hi real quick. We've got Angeline Gray joining us. Angeline, welcome. How are you? And over the weekend, you had a very successful cooking demo as part of the event we had with that telethon. I heard some good feedback. Awesome. And let's see. I see Derek Espadis joining us. Derek, come on in. How are you? Haven't seen you in a while.
Doing well. Thanks for having me. It wasn't like Kurt was somewhere else and saw me and told me I had to show up or anything like that. No, I'm here of my own free will.
Well, I see Kurt in the background too, so he gets his turn coming on in here. And I see Debbie is in the wings as well, but I think she just walked off camera for a moment. So when I see her face back, I will go ahead and bring her in here as well. Sounds like a party going on. So you guys were at another event and joining here.
Yeah, getting some networking and some
we hear about the party over here, so he said let us come.
Perfect. And I just lost Anthony. I'm not sure where he figured he had a little bit of time yet. Hopefully he'll come on back in here. But so tell us, actually, where were you guys? You had another event just before this. What was the event?
We were at a posting party.
HMP.
So we were
posting party.
Yes.
Excellent. And for those that don't know what a posting party is, you want to share a little bit about what does that mean?
Go for it, Derek.
I show up and make snarky comments and then leave. That's
sounds about right.
And apparently today we got together to what was, I can't remember the song. Kurt was letting us know there was some rap song he used to serenade you with.
We're digging way back in time. Did it have to do with Running Man in the process there too? Okay, Kurt, which song was it?
Sweet Susie, she ain't no lady.
I haven't heard that in a while.
Nobody knows what I'm talking about. I don't know. Maybe there are people out there who know that song.
Wow, she's blushing. Goodness. Oh, wow. We were talking about you,
wow.
Sue. You were the only person we were talking about in the HMP because we said you did such a great job. Oh my God, yesterday we couldn't stop talking about you. Yeah, we said you did
Thank
such
you.
a good job yesterday. And how proud we are, especially me. I'm not talking about
And actually,
let me stop talking about everybody else. How proud I was, being delegated by you. Yes. Amazing,
all right,
amazing.
well, I see Debbie's here. I'm going to go ahead and bring her on in to join the conversation too. Welcome, Debbie.
Hi, everyone. Yes,
Another person I haven't seen for a minute.
Adeline as well. It was awesome. You did a fabulous job. Thank you very much for
But
all you did.
listen, there I cannot hold the hat. I'm sorry. It's Sue. I have to give her flowers. I cannot hold those flowers. I'm sorry, Debbie. I'm out of the running.
Yeah,
I will
have
take
to give-
credit for everything if no one will take credit. It was all me. It was amazing. You are welcome.
So, well, let's just take a moment and why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves. So if anybody is seeing this for the first time and they don't know who you all are, Angeline, why don't you go ahead and start?
Why me? Okay.
You're,
My
go
name is
ahead.
Angeline Gray. My name is Angeline Gray, and I am the executive chef of the business called the Maroon Cafe, and a proud, extremely proud member of Project Die Hard
Ooh,
for
look
our
at that.
veterans,
That's lovely.
and which we love with many kisses, for sure. Yes.
Beautiful. So, yeah, and tell everybody what you did for the telethon.
Uh-oh. Okay. So I did a cooking demo, which was such an amazing opportunity, and I'm a bit over proud of myself and of my daughter and how she delegated the camera for me to let everything possible so you guys could be able to see whatever I was doing, because she was the one who hold the camera, hold the paper for my speech that I did. She was the one behind the camera, let me tell you. Steven Spielberg got nothing on her. I'm telling you right now. She was amazing.
Awesome. So happy to hear that. Now, let's see. We're going to go ahead and go down. I'm heading around my screen here. People know Kurt, so I'm going to skip you, honey. I'm going to go over to Debbie Miller next. We'll come back to you, Kurt. Don't worry. So, Debbie, you want to share a little bit of who you are?
Thank you. I am Debbie Miller with Legal Shield and ID Shield, and I was honored to be part of the Saturday telethon. I'd love to help support our veterans. I have a great uncle who was a veteran, and a brother-in-law who is a veteran, and a son who is serving now in the Air National Guard. And so it's something that is definitely close to my heart. And I feel like we totally owe them a great debt, and I think we've kind of messed up in the past. So hopefully we'll get Project Die Hard um, funded and get all those things, get them there in their where they're starting out, and get all the kinks figured out and be ready to go all over North America. So thank you, Sue, for all you did. Thank you.
Absolutely. And Derek, I know we've had you on here before, but it's been quite a while. So please remind everybody who you are.
Yeah, so I'm Derek Espalos with Spade Business Services. We are a accounting firm located in Tucson, Arizona. We do work nationwide. I also run a school called Chloe Preparatory Academy, and I am just a local advocate and politician now. So trying to do the best to change the world for the positive.
Okay, so I hear politician now. That I was unaware of.
Yeah, so I have been working with the city. I am a commissioner down here in Tucson, Arizona, but also throwing in my hat to be a commissioner at the state level for the utility board. So started doing that, collecting signatures and putting on programming for different programs down here in Tucson.
Excellent. So, okay, here's my ignorance. How close is Tucson to Phoenix?
Hour and a half south of Phoenix.
Okay.
45 minutes if you drive really quickly.
45. Yeah, when there's no cops
If you
around.
have legal shield, 45 minutes.
Because have you actually met up with Debbie? I mean, Debbie Hayes is not that far away.
No, she is actually about 20 minutes south of Tucson and actually comes up here quite a bit. I have met her at networking groups here, but I haven't seen her for a minute. I just saw her on your show and looked like she was about to get eaten by a bear.
Pretty wild. Excellent. Yeah. So that's where it really is a small world here. And whether we're right next to each other like that or at a distance like what we actually are, because I'm sitting here in Wisconsin, we can all get together and make a difference and do good things. And that is what we're all about here. That's what Project Die Hard is doing. We are here for our vets. We are here to make a difference. And it takes all sorts of people, because I always tell Brian, you wear too many hats, right? So to be able to have different people as resource partners and connections, that makes a massive difference. So, and actually with that, Kurt, I'm going to go ahead and give you a chance to say hello and share a bit of what's all going on with you. How are you, Kurt? I waved at him when I came in. That's about it.
Yep, all sorts of stuff going on with all these parties and, you know, all these meetings. And, you know, like right now I was working on a Popple card because somebody shared their Popple card. So I got to get Project Die Hard on Popple. And so expanding and growing contact base, opening the doors for potential support all day long, every day. And, you know, I'm excited about our friend Stu Newmeyer, who contacted us last year from out of Florida. He's got SLTV. He and his wife run the Stu and Lori Variety Hour, Stu and Lori VarietyShow.com, and he's running a telethon as well, coming up Labor Day weekend. And so I offered up my, you know, bandwidth and whatever I can do to help the success what he wants to do. He's talking about this realm right here in terms of live streaming. He's more looking at the internet radio side of it and all the small radio stations. Like Sue and I do a show every Wednesday. Well, more Sue does. Or really Sue does. Sue does the show every Wednesday, Ability MKE Now with River West Radio. And, you know, so those kind of stations, he's trying to have a fundraiser that through a telethon that they can have more resources to expand their reaches and their operation and opportunities and everything that they do to have a positive effect on nonprofits like Project Die Hard, obviously. And so we're going to bundle it all together and give it to it. You know, 3 months of work we've got ahead of us to make that happen. So opportunities are coming down the pike all day long, every day. It's rather exciting.
And I do have one thing to share that we missed on Saturday. There's a big celebration coming up. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you guys can see what I can see. It is the Army's 250th birthday celebration coming up in just a few days here. It's in Philadelphia from June 13th to the 15th. And the way so I owe Thomas Long an apology because he was here. He was trying to get in and couldn't get in to be able to share this. He actually was on site in Philadelphia going to share with us what is all going to be happening this weekend with this event. And I've with all the things, it just didn't click. And I want to make sure to get this out. And anybody who's listening to this, please share this out. We need to spread the word of what's all happening at this event. So it says right here, it's a celebration of a lifetime. Our Army is 250 years old. So there's a lot happening. It's 3 days of events going on. And here, let's actually just catch a glimpse of this real quick.
From its founding in 1775, the U.S. Army has defended freedom. Older than the nation itself, the Army has been the shield of our nation, democracy, and way of life. standing strong through the battlefields of the past and challenges of today. Throughout our 250-year heritage, the courage and dedication of our brave men and women have shaped us into the world's premier fighting force. Inspired by the next generation of soldiers, we remain committed to modernization, lethality, and readiness to face tomorrow's threats. Join us in celebrating the Army's 250th anniversary, a multi-year campaign as we honor the past and embrace the future on installations around the world and throughout local communities across the nation. Together, we commemorate the Army's legacy, forged in the fires of conflict and defined by courage. The U.S. Army, proudly serving for 250 years. Established June 14, 1775. This will defend.
Attention! Your mission is to subscribe and beat feet to the next video. Why haven't you done it yet?
Love it. All right. And so if you're just real quickly popping up the schedule here, they have a lot in store for what's all going to be happening. I'm just going to slowly scroll so it's visible. And the website is goarmy250.com. goarmy250.com. So go ahead and see what's all happening. There's a parade, there's birthday ceremony and cake cutting, an enlistment ceremony, Army band concert, VIP reception on Sunday, church service, George Washington commissioning. There's all sorts of celebration going on. And that's where, if anybody is in the Philadelphia area and can join in what's going on there, please, I strongly encourage that, because it's going to be a great event that it's once in a lifetime, right? Because that is something that you like turn 250. So that is something that is impressive. And I think, don't we all know somebody who is in the Army? Yes. I mean, we all know probably quite a few people who are in the Army. So this is meaningful to people who surround us. So please share this out. The more people that know, the better. And it's going to be worth tuning into. So with that, actually, Kurt, I want to pop it back your way. Was there anything else that I was supposed to mention tonight? Oh, look at that. Well, that's we'll have to make you a QR code, honey.
Yeah. So in terms of mention for tonight, I'm hoping all of our friends here, Debbie, Derek, and Andeline, I hope everybody's got their virtual can, and I hope everybody watching and listening to this has a virtual can to help spread the mission of Project Die Hard, and, you know, get that canvas opened all around the world to maybe have some people put some pennies, dollars, C notes, whatever they got, Bitcoin, whatever they got, into the virtual can.
Excellent. And that's what is up in the corner there. That QR code is for Fill the Can. So that, and if you want to know how to make one, it's really easy. Really, really easy. You go to mightycause.com. mightycause.com. And then there's a place in there where you have to make a login, obviously. Make a login, super simple, and then search for Project Die Hard. When you find Project Die Hard, it gives you the opportunity to create your own fundraiser through them. And it's just a few clicks and it's done. Publish, boom. So it's super easy to do. And obviously it's for a good cause. So want to make Mighty Networks. It's Mighty Cause, not Mighty Networks. What is Mighty Networks?
Wait, should I have not given Mighty Networks my social security number?
I don't know what they might be a good place, but I'm not familiar with them.
Debbie gonna have to up my my ID protection there.
Oh my goodness. Trying. Very much trying. Oh, so let's see. What else is happening in your neck of the woods where you guys all are? There's things that you guys can do or that people around you can do to help out with what's going on with Project Die Hard? How can we share out the information? How can we share out? We're trying to figure out ways to, like with the telethon we just had, how do we get this out there so more and more people can see what happened and can participate along the way? Do you guys have ideas? Because this is we reach a certain number doing this. We need to just keep growing and growing. So I guess I'm reaching out and asking you guys, what ideas do you have?
I guess we can all share your LinkedIn post for this event that we're having right now. So that will reach a lot more people.
Beautiful. I like that.
And I have to say that I'm also working with this organization also to create, because I'm doing fundraising also for the Maroon Cafe and also for Project Die Hard. We're raising funds for Safety Can Get My Food Trailer up, so we can also hire some veterans as well and do that dedicated backspace, which for the, and the truck for the veteran and also people with disabilities. So I'm working with that right now. So we should have something up so we can have those website up and do a QR code as well, so we can do some fundraising that going. Something about this week or so. We're trying to get it this week. So that's something that I am working on to do my part as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And is that using inspire.world?
That's correct. That's using inspire.world to do that as well, to do the fundraising. Website's already done, but tweaks on that as well, so we can get it up. Because we want to use that money to hire the veterans as well, on the truck, that sort of thing, to hire some veterans. Yeah.
Beautiful. So Derek, I got a question
do
for
some
you.
Donation as well to that. Sorry. Do some donation as well too.
Awesome. So, well, and I was gonna say, Derek, I know you run a school, and I'm assuming you guys have to do some fundraising along the way to help with the school costs and everything. Is there any tips and tricks you have up your sleeve that might be helpful for Project Die Hard?
Well, we actually we don't have to fundraise for the school. We keep costs very low. And then like school supplies, we provide them for the students. And we also keep in mind, hey, if we don't do things that require purchasing stuff, it's even cheaper that way. So
very frugal. That's
keep,
huge.
Yeah, we keep things very low, and then we just ask the community, can you, if we do need something, we'll go out to the community and just ask, and people are always there to prepare or to provide. And so we just look at our expenses and how do we eliminate them without eliminating quality. And then we always make sure that there's plenty of donuts, because
that speaks to people, doesn't it?
Well, it keeps the teacher happy.
Oh my goodness, that you got to be able to speak the people's language. That
right. And a lot of hey, for your next assignment, wash my car. So that always helps.
Excellent. Here, I'm actually Kurt, can I pass this to you for just a moment? I'm gonna see if I can pull up some visuals from last Saturday. I'm working on my computer's getting a little slow here as I'm making it work too hard.
There you go. Suraska pushing it to the limits. We're pushing the envelope and working for more. So I want to make sure that everybody knows how to reach us and keep in communication with us. So you got Susan at projectdiehard.org, and my email address is kurt@projectdiehard.org. You can email my Google Voice line 262-372-1754, so you can call and text that line and let us know any thoughts, ideas, opportunities, any way we can grow the mission. And we are just looking forward to the next rendition of what we did on Saturday. That was just a starting point, and it was very massive and marvelous and of great magnitude. And as big and great as it was, we just see now in debriefing the whole event that there's much more we can do, like to have Derek come in and be featured in the show and let him do his tricks and things like that. We have all sorts of ideas how to enhance our next version of the Veterans Telethon. Thank you, Derek, for offering.
No problem.
Sorry, I thought I'd make you guys drool just a little. This was some of the fancy work that Angeline provided. Can you guys see this? You want to tell us what we're looking at, Angeline? Actually, can you guys see my screen?
That is just pepper steak with rice and peas. Topped with sweet peppers.
I was wishing we had. I was talking about smell-o-vision, so we could have totally enjoyed what was going on as she was cooking this up over the weekend. You know what? I am going to just make y'all dizzy for just a second, because if I can just quickly show a bit, you can see lots of faces as we're going by here. We saw a lot of people over the weekend. And this is just to give you a flavor of how many people took part and gave of themselves, gave their time to see and share and be part of the big event.
Well, next time you need someone to give an accounting demonstration, you just give me a call. We'll start that riveting demonstration there. They'll bring in all the people just screaming.
Keep that in mind. We all have our piece, and that there's people out there who don't know the things that you know, and what you have and what you do would definitely be of interest. So you just never know what it is that a person needs at a particular point in time. So the more people that we can bring to the table and be able to have that expertise available, that makes a difference. So we appreciate what you do.
I keep people out of jail.
Yes.
So does Debbie.
Kind of huge. So
The whole point.
what was that?
That's the whole point, keeping us all out of jail and
Keeping us safe.
that's right, keeping us moving forward.
Because we are not able to all be experts in everything, and that having people who are experts and knowing people in those positions makes a big difference. So as I look around the room here, I know a chef, I know an accountant, and more, and somebody who can hook me up with a lawyer. That takes care of a lot of pieces that we could have concern with. So, we are here every Monday night. We give our updates, and we always end with sharing a message of hope, something that we can send forth to our veterans. And something that I have not been mentioning lately that I got to get back to doing is check your vet. We did that a lot around the holidays, just making that reminder of who do you know that's a veteran that they haven't checked in on lately. Let this be your little nudge to go check on them, and a phone call, text them, knock on their door, see how they're doing. Here's your excuse. If you're wondering why I haven't done that lately, well, I'm giving you that nudge. Go check on them, see how they're doing. So I just want to go around the room and give everybody a chance to go ahead and share whatever message of hope you have for our veterans. Angeline, can I start with you?
Okay, so for me, for my veteran, I just want to send out my love, that we do care for you, and we do have your back, and we're here to support you. And whatever it is that you're going through, you're not doing it alone. So, and we're here.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you for all you do for this organization. Derek, I'm going to pass the baton your way. Message of hope for our veterans.
Well, I just want to give an example of what's out here in Tucson. So there's a veterans group called Veterans for Peace. And for one of their projects with the potential stuff happening with VA funding, what they do every Friday is they head out to the VA and they welcome the staff and greet them and with smiles and kindness and happiness. And so that's one of those great things that they're doing out here in Tucson. So, as one of a former Marine that I know out here, former Marine drill sergeant, she says they sign up for a lifetime of service. Their service doesn't end when they leave the Corps. And so she says forever she's in service. And a lot of the veterans out here in Tucson keep that in mind. And sometimes it's as simple as just smiling. And so great gratitude for that.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Derek. So glad you're able to join us tonight. Debbie, over to you.
Well, I just want to say a big thank you for all that they have done and given up, not just them personally, but also for their families and those that support them. We actually owe all of those, their whole family, a big debt, and we often forget. And as you mentioned, this is a great time to remember to just go check and make sure that we let them know that we're there for them, and they need us, we'll be there to help however they need us. So thank you for that nudge. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Debbie. And Kurt, I'm going to pass it to you. Your word of hope and encouragement and whatever word is on your mind.
Well, anticipation is a word that comes to mind. And just in optimism from, what was all cultivated on Saturday, and just to see, hundreds of people come around, huddling around with a Canadian USA dynamic, and more or less be an example for what we can now reach out to further internationally to other places around the world, get the Eastern world involved. And we were out with the Maybach system, Maybach's network over the weekend. So that reached, antennas like in the Philippines, satellite TV. So, really we are anticipating a lot of growth in this attention to veterans. So that becomes the crux of the message is, stay tuned. There's more to come. It's like that soap opera, you always got that cliffhanger of what's coming next. So we're working on it, as we go, and we need your help, because we're recognizing that this is, a great concern, and it's something that nobody has figured out. 175 billion people in history. And, if we look at going back 250 years ago with the Army and, dealing with this aspect and what you need out there, we know that we've got a ways to go, and we could really use your help to really give us the guidance so that we can have, a real testimony and a real review of what works. Because after all, you are the expert on what we are trying to do here. Thanks for being there. Back to you, Sue.
Excellent. Well, and I need to give some huge thanks to all of. We've had a great crew here tonight. I was expecting maybe one or two people at best, and wow, you guys have blown me away, and I appreciate that so much. And same with the group from on Saturday with that telethon, that we had that many people joining in and making a difference, stepping up and saying, "Hey, I'm here. This is what I can offer. This is what I can do." And however this might help in this whole piece that we are working on together, we're trying to make a difference for our vets. And it takes, okay, I was going to go for a cliche. It takes an army to make a difference. Well, where does that come from? My goodness. So remember this weekend, the Army 250th that is happening in Philadelphia. I mean, it's happening everywhere, but the big celebration in Philadelphia. So remember, check that out online. GoArmy250.com. Get all those details and support your Army folks that are around you. And just remember, God's not through with you yet. Period. you're here for a reason. So if you're not sure what that is today, it's okay. We all have those moments, but you're here for a reason. So stick around, join the cause here with what we're doing. We could use more help, sincerely. So go ahead and again, scan that QR code, fill the can. And as always, we are so thrilled to be able to do the things that we do here. Thank you kindly. And until next time, we'll be back same place, 6:30 p.m. next Monday night here for the Project Die Hard Mission Monday update. As always, we thank you.